Okay, so it's time for Shingeki no Kyojin, Chapter 71, Attack on Titan. Um, this particular chapter, again, as usual, I'm not going to go too far into depth. You might be able to tell my voice is a little off today, and this is the last review I'm doing. So, but regardless, I don't usually go into too much depth with Shingeki. Um, but let's talk a little bit about this chapter. So, the guy Shadis, the instructor, who was at the very beginning of the manga slash anime, the guy who tested Eren for the gear, the maneuverable gear, whatever it's called. Now he doesn't have any, apparently doesn't have any information of what they need, but he does have information about Eren and his parents. Um, and as far as the story, like, it was interesting because of the implications, especially of Dr. Yeager and what the fact that he didn't know about anything. He could speak perfect English or common tongue, whatever you want to call it, or Japanese, whatever. He could speak perfect. He could speak perfectly, but he didn't know anything about anything. He didn't know anything about the Survey Corps. He didn't know about who they were. He had no concept of money, which is very crazy. Um, but it's not if you think about what this implies, whatever. This implies that he lived outside of civilization or he lost his memory, either one of the two. So is it possible that perhaps he started off as a Titan? Because a Titan may not have known, but then again, the Titans start off as humans. There's a very interesting duality there. Do we know? No, not really. Um, we still don't know anything in that regard. We have a good implication that maybe all of the Titans have started off as humans, but is it possible also that Titans can breed Titans um, to the point where Grisha started off as a Titan and then became human somehow? Um, or he could have just lost his memory, but this manga has a lot of kind of out there explanations for things, so you never really know. Um, of course, Carla, um, Aaron's mother, her appearance was fine, and she's being a bitch or something, but not really. And it was funny because after, it seemed like he had a thing for her, Shadis, and then just after that, he was fighting a Titan who looked at him like, he kind of just looked at him like you and Carla, man. Did you guys get it on? And he's like, fuck you. No, I didn't. And killed him. Just saying that look though. Uh, so yeah. Apparently she came down with a disease and she was fine because Dr. Yeager is Dr. Yeager. Um, Grisha is Grisha, whatever. And they got married, had a kid, and the result was Yeager, freaking Eren, and yeah, that's the story. Uh, yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say there. But, I mean, the character of Shadis kind of grew in this chapter, which is fine. But what I thought was really interesting was the fact that he was there on the night in which he took Eren into the forest and left him with a key. But I don't see the key on him. Um, I don't see the key on him when Shadis took him. Maybe it was an art error, or what, but the most he did was put him back in bed. And also, there's a chance that he was the one that messed with Aaron's nerve gear, or whatever it was, nerve gear. That's Sword Art Online. 3D maneuverable gear. It was possible that he was the one who sabotaged it. Um, in fact, it seemed like it was like almost like outright stated that it was him because he didn't want Aaron to be in that position. So, oh yeah, it was shown. Never mind. What am I talking about? Yeah, I forgot about that. It showed him that he messed with the gear because he didn't want Aaron to um, pass because he didn't want Aaron to be part of the Survey Corps. Because he didn't want him to fall into despair, like into these desperate battles that mean nothing, that he feels mean nothing. Um, so yeah, I mean that's fine, whatever. I mean I don't know how far ahead the author planned that because it just seemed like it was just faulty, and I don't know if that was just a small plot twist in the beginning, and that he decided to bring back later. But I mean it's fine. I don't really care either way. So yeah, I mean that's honestly about it. We got nowhere in this chapter. We just learned, we just heard a story. So to that regard, that wasn't great, but I mean the story itself was okay, and what it implies could possibly make it a good chapter. But I mean ultimately, um, ultimately I do think this was a good chapter. So yeah, that's it. Um, Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys next month.